So with Access, the Create tab shows you everything you can create in Access. So you can create tables, you can create queries, you can create forms, you can create reports, you can also create macros and write code here. Okay, basically, but to get data into Access, you need to go to the External Data tab. As in, if you have your data in Excel, you have your data in another Access database, you have your data in a text file, you have your data in an XML file, your data is online, you need to import the data into Access. What you basically need to do is come to the External Data tab over here. Now, the External Data tab is not just for bringing data into Access, it is also for exporting data out of Access. So that's why you have two sections. You have the import and link section. You also have the export section. The export section deals with data from inside Access going out. So it can go out to Excel. You can export it as a text file, as a PDF file, as an attachment to an email. It can go out to another Access database, into Microsoft Word with the word merge. You have a bunch of other options here. But right now, I'm concerned with importing and linking data from other sources into Access. Okay, so here you can see it says new data source. So if you click on the that icon, it shows you the kind of options that you have. So you can import data from a file, which includes these options. So the file can be an Excel file, can be an HTML document, an XML file, a text file. So in the case of text file, it can be comma delimited or space delimited, something like that. It can also come from an you can also bring in data, import data into Access from another Access database or from a SQL Server database and from other databases such as this. Online services also is possible. SharePoint, from Salesforce, from Dynamics 365 online, and you also have other sources like an ODBC database and other sources. But right now, for the purpose of this video, I'm concerned with Excel, bringing data in from Excel. Now, so if I click here on Excel, the Excel option over here, it shows us this little window or this little display. So here, the browse option, I can navigate to find the file I'm trying to the file that has my data. So I can come here easily and pick on the file. So I'm trying to import employee data from this file into Access. So I'm going to navigate. I have navigated to it. So I'm going to select that particular file that I want. Click on Open. Now it is we have the right URL, the name of the file and the file directory over here. Now here it gives me three options. The first option is to import the source data into a new table in the current database. So right now I have only three tables in this database. So if I choose this option, it's going to bring in the data and dump the data in a brand new table in my database. So I will have, instead of three databases at the end, I will have four databases. Okay. The other option here is the append option. It says append a copy of the records to the table. So here it assumes that I have a table already that's already in this table in my database. So the word append actually really means to add on to it's going to be an addition to it. So if I choose this option, I'm going to say, so I could say, choose one of these tables and then add this new data to that table. It's going to be an addition to that table. But the only thing you have to make sure you have in place is that the fields in the table that's already in your database and the fields in the table that you're trying to bring in are exactly the same. They have to line up. Otherwise, the importation will not happen. The third option here is to link the data source by creating a linked table. So in this case, particularly with Access, the table is not really imported, will not be really imported into Access. It will just be linked to it. It will just be a link to it. And it will still function pretty much like an Access table, but it will not be imported. Okay, so that's the difference. Here it says Access will create a table that will maintain a link to the source data in Excel. Changes made to the source data in Excel will be reflected in the link table. However, the source data cannot be changed from within Access. So it will be linked to that Excel file. If you make changes in the Excel file outside Access, the changes will show up in Access. But you cannot change the Excel file from inside Access. All right. So if I say OK to the first option, in which case I'm importing the data from Excel into Access, and it will create for me a new table. I'm going to say OK. So when I say OK, it will show me all the tabs that I have in my Excel file. This is what my Excel file, that particular Excel file looks like. It's just bogus data. It's not real data. It's just bogus employee data. And this is what it looks like. So I have 4 tabs there. You can see I have 2 tabs hidden, and I have 2 tabs not hidden. So right now, Excel is showing me all the 4 tabs that I have in my Excel file. I'm going to choose the right one that I want, which is this one, employee data for May. That's the one I want. So now it's showing us a preview of the data. When I say next, it's showing me a preview of the data, and I can check this box or not to say that the first row of data in that table is actually the headers. Okay, so when I say next, here I can do a bit of editing of the data. So I can choose if I want to import one field or not import another field. So if I choose this one right now, the last name field, and I check this, I can say don't import that field. So it's going to be skipped. It's not going to be imported. I can also change the data type for the field if I want. If it's not right, I can change it here. All I need to do is select the right field, select that particular field, and change the data type to whatever it should be. Currency, number, long integer, date and time, date with time, something like that. So you can do many changes at this point, and you can navigate through your fields here. I'm going to say next. I'm not making any changes. I'm going to say next. Here, Access tries to assign a primary key to your table. You don't have to accept it. So, but by default, it wants you to accept it. So I can say, you can say easily no, and I'm saying no because I can create my own primary key for this particular field, for this particular table. So I can go next. I can give my table a name, or I can leave the name uh, the way it is right now. So right now it's employee data dash May. I'm going to leave it the way it is, and I can say finish. So now the import is done successfully, but it shows me this option. What does this option mean? It's saying that if it's suggesting this because if this is a process that I do again and again, for example, this is employee data. If I import employee data every month, so I do it for May, I do it for June, I do it for July, August, September. So this is something I do consistently. Access is saying I can save these steps for you. So you don't have to do it every time, every day. So it's saying here, you see what it says? You want to save these import steps? This will allow you to quickly repeat the operation without using the wizard. So if I click on here and I say save the import steps, I give it a name, say employee sample steps. I can call it that, something like that. It's going to save it so that when I need to do it next time, all I need to just do is just click on the button and then run it. So I can say save import. And here, 2 things have happened. If I look to the link table manager, not this one, saved imports rather, saved imports, you can see that it is saved here. The steps that I just took, everything is saved here. If I need to do it again, all I need to come here is open saved imports over here, click on this, it will run again all by itself, or click on run. So I can close that. Now look at this, the table is here, it's been imported. So what Access has done right now is that it has imported the table for me from Excel into Access. And if you look at the definition of the table, it will have gotten it got it right. All the data types correctly. So you have the ID field, the last name field, job code field, all the date fields have date and time correctly. And the annual salary field also has the right data type, which is currency. So that is how you can easily import um, your data from Excel into Access. Very easy and not difficult at all.